That deluxe is coming out, bro. That deluxe is coming out, bro. Listen, bro. I'm I know. We've said it 150 times on this channel. We done been on live streams where we thought was gonna get pulled back. Bro, it's going to drop, bro. I don't have any concrete proof whatsoever. I don't know nobody. I don't know. You feel what I'm saying? So if you want a concrete answer, you can't get it from me. But I do have some ideas. And we all know that Kendrick Lamar is either an astrologer or he got an astrologer on payroll. Because the dude, listen, if you've been on my channel long enough, we've talked about this enough. The dude is either an astrologer or has an astrologer on payroll. This super moon that's coming up, bro. And this is tomorrow. And I'm not saying that Kendrick has to drop on the super moon, but I guarantee you some movement will take place after or on the super moon. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. Okay. Now, before we even get to the blood moon part or the super moon part, this is what sparked the conversation in general. Okay. Shout out Love is Back 24. So Soundwave, right, which is a producer that Kendrick's always worked with, and Jack Antonoff, they both helped create GNX. Soundwave recalls that recording for GNX began immediately or almost immediately after the release of Mr. Morale, and that they worked on 80 to 100 songs for the project. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? When it comes to these albums, artists really do make a lot of songs for these albums. So don't get me wrong. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not saying that this is 100% concrete on that part. But think about it. GNX or DJ Head has been telling us for how long that GNX was wrapped up really fast? DJ Head been telling us that for a minute. And I'll make a separate video getting into that too. But he's been telling us that for a minute, bro. That GNX got wrapped up quickly. Okay? Why is it that Soundwave is now saying that GNX was starting to be recorded immediately or almost immediately after Mr. Morale? I'm going to make a video on it, but that sounds like misdirection to me. Because on one end, it was quick. On another end, they've been working on it for multiple 2 to 3 years. That's a completely different, you feel what I'm saying? So I'm feeling like there's multiple projects under this GNX tag. And they're sitting there. There probably are multiple projects. I'm guessing more than 2. That's just a guess. I've been saying that I think Kendrick's going to drop multiple albums, but I think these albums might fall under the GNX tag, okay? And the 80 to 100 songs is what does it for me, because I'm like, we're saying that 88 songs got scrapped? And I know that Kendrick Lamar is dude is meticulous with his work, so don't get me wrong. But 88 songs got scrapped and just tossed in the trash? You can't convince me of that. You can't convince me of that. Well, all of the Easter eggs we have gotten up until this point, you can't convince me that 88 songs got scrapped and none of them are sitting there for extras. Bro, a deluxe and maybe even another project, bro, is gonna drop. I'm standing on it, bro. Okay? And we not even halfway done with this video. There's a lot to talk about. Okay? I also think one of these projects could be sitting there in an attempt to step on some other projects. Y'all know I'm still standing on. I think Kendrick Lamar would like a versus, but I know people say Kendrick don't care about the numbers or whatever. This is just a theory, right? Now check this out. The beginning of it was throwing paint on the wall, and it started to form this massive funky West groove that we love because Kendrick and I are from Compton. And in that, I started to realize the people who we should bring in to push it even further, the Mustards, the Jacks. I was very fortunate to have these friends who were very talented to push it to the next level. So essentially, he's saying at first, it was just throwing stuff at the wall, which could make sense for how many songs got scrapped. But 88, I don't think so. Even if it's just 40 of those 100 songs that got figured out, you can't convince me that 88 songs got scrapped, bro. Okay? This is what starts the conversation, though. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff that we'll get into when it comes to this, because I got a lot to say about this. Now, let's talk about this supermoon coming up. The very interesting thing about this supermoon coming up is that it's in Gemini. Now, you can say I'm reaching. This supermoon coming up is in Gemini, bruh. Okay, and we can read through it, but before we read through it, if you think Kendrick Lamar isn't meticulously dropping and using, maybe I got it wrong, but if he isn't using astrology to drop his music, it would be an extremely coincidental. The dude dropped GNX on master numbers. Like, what do we, like, come on. So, let's look at this, okay? Playboi Carti's album, I Am Music, drops March 14th, okay? You want to know the significance of March 14th, 2025? By the way, I have a video on it. You can go back. I'll put it up in the at the end of this video. But you want to know the significance of March 14th, 2025? It was a blood moon. The album that Kendrick was on 3 times was dropped and released on a blood moon. And that blood moon represented, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I knew it was renewal, it was transformation, it was out with the old, in with the new. And when you really look at the way hip hop kind of like purged itself, and then Clips came with a classic. Wale pulled up with an incredible album. Chance the Rapper pulled up with a great album. It's interesting. You feel what I'm saying? It's very interesting to talk about. But this dropped on a blood moon. And Kendrick's on it 3 times, right? GNX drops on master numbers. Specifically on master numbers. That's wild, bro. Kendrick is extremely meticulous with this stuff, okay? Now, that brings me back to the cold moon of Gemini, right? The cold moon of Gemini in December. Actually, let's make it. Yeah, there we go. The cold moon of Gemini on December 4th brings a powerful energy shift for these 4 zodiac signs. The final full moon of the year peaks on December 4th, urging everyone to make big decisions before 2026, right? So the interesting thing about this is you probably, even in your own personal life, I know everybody doesn't believe in this stuff, right? But there's some stuff that just like, the coincidence is crazy, if it's coincidence, right? Where a lot of things that have been delayed are pushed moving forward. Even things like the fog that has been over a lot of people's heads and stuff seems to be clearing up. It seems, you know what I'm saying? And it's interesting because I am a believer that the moon, especially because it has an effect on our planet, also has an effect on us. You feel what I'm saying? Including even animals. You feel what I'm saying? I really do believe that. I've been spamming that, you know what I'm saying? But I really do believe that. So when I see something like this, especially when we're talking about Kendrick Lamar, who is a Gemini, right? This would be another opportunity to use. And when we start seeing what this supermoon is about, it'll make more sense. As 2025 draws to a close, the universe has one final surprise in store. The cold moon of Gemini, which is also the last supermoon of the year. Set to rise on December 4th, this powerful lunar event is an invitation to release, reflect, and manifest what you want to carry into the new year. Okay? It's important to note that this is the second to last supermoon in the current series, with the next one set for January 3rd, 2026. A supermoon occurs when the moon is closer to Earth than usual. Boom, boom, we all know that. Spiritually, this magnified lunar energy often amplifies emotions, insights, and clarity, making it the perfect time to set intentions or let go of old patterns before stepping into 2026. Now, why wouldn't this be the perfect time to release something that is representative of a new era, right? And not necessarily a completely new era, but just building on the GNX era. I even think when I think about some of the lyrics and bodies, right? That first verse before the beat switches is really all centered around renewal, transformation, reincarnation, the new embodiment. You see what I'm saying? Why wouldn't this super moon affect the release of this when I know that Kendrick is either an astrologer or has somebody on payroll that's an astrologer? Got to be. Okay? Why wouldn't this be the perfect time to execute that? Especially when that song was previewed and a lot of those sentiments can apply to this super moon in Gemini. Look, come on. The full moon of Gemini arrives during Sagittarius season, bringing an emergence energy of curiosity, optimism, and fresh perspective. It asks us to make crucial decisions as the year winds down to evolve or remain where we are. The challenge: many of us may still feel tied to unfinished business or lingering emotions from the past few months. And once again, when I think about the body snippet, and when I think about just in general, even when Kendrick in these interviews, just talking about harnessing his feminine energy and all this different stuff, Kendrick is tapped in, bro. And I feel like everybody knows, if you've been listening to Kendrick Lamar for years, you knew Kendrick Lamar was tapped in from the jump. Absolutely, you knew they were tapped in. Okay, I know Kendrick tapped in, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Just like y'all tapped in. That's why I rock with y'all. You feel what I'm saying? Just tapped in. And it don't always make sense to everybody, but it's not supposed to. Okay? So from that perspective, though, this is the perfect opportunity, whether it's using or leading into. Bro, hold on. The performance in Australia is today. The performance in Australia is today with Doechii. It's today. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Doechii's first appearance. On a stadium tour is going to be during a supermoon in Gemini. Y'all keep look, bruh. I'm very well aware that nothing might happen today, okay? But you can't tell, bro. Maybe the concert is the thing. Who knows? But I know, bro, the energy being built up. Come on. Now, I will say this, though. Nas' album is getting ready to drop. So, and I think when is that? December 28th? I think Nas' album is December 28th. When is Nas' album dropping? I should have just typed this on a computer. But whatever. When is Nas' album dropping? Oh, it's dropping on the 12th. Oh, yeah. Yeah, nah. I can't see Kendrick dropping a whole project, But I could see Kendrick being on that Nas project. Hold on now. Wait a minute. Hold on, bro. December 12th. That's 12/12/25. Yo, yo, we just got surgical in real time. I was not planning on talking about this in a video. Nas is dropping on 12/12/25. Dog. Kendrick's next major appearance might be on the Nas album. 12/12/25. Let me find out with some astrological significance of 12/12/25, man. We'll look into that later, though. Bruh. I got to make a video on that, too. Nas is dropping on master numbers. And bro, the way Nas been talking about Kendrick recently, and I know y'all seen the next Big 3 video, but the way Nas been talking about Kendrick recently, he even asked for a feature publicly. Listen, man. Kendrick might be on this damn album, bro. Kendrick might really be on this damn album. The master numbers. Oh, man. All right, bro. This shit crazy, bro. But I do think a Deluxe is still coming. I really do. It might just not be at the top of the month because I can't see Kendrick dropping. But that could be the play. Who knows, bro? I can't see Kendrick dropping right before Nas. I can't see that happening. I can see Kendrick being on Nas' album and that momentum leading into a Deluxe where Nas is potentially featured on the album. That's the final verdict. That's the final go-to. That's my final go-to. Today or tomorrow is going to start something, some type of run, some type of whatever. I don't know, but it's going to start something. This will lead into the Nas album that Kendrick Lamar is featured on, which will then lead into the Kendrick album that Nas, or the Kendrick Deluxe that Nas is featured on. I'm standing on it. Look. I know we done got this wrong 197 times, but we gonna get it right 198. We gonna get it right 198. And if we don't get it right 198, we gonna get it right 199. But I'm standing on, if I could put some money on 198, I put a little you know what I'm saying? I put a little $30 on it. I put a little $30 on it. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't really predict when the album gonna drop. But you know what I'm saying? A little $30. But yeah. Hey, like, comment, subscribe, especially if you're new here, especially if you've been here. I got a bunch of videos coming. Because also, if you didn't know, the battle did get canceled because my opponent has some family issues or something like that. So battle was looking to be rescheduled. But regardless, I'm still looking to be battling on the trenches. So it's gonna be fire regardless. But now I got my free time back. You know what I'm saying? And y'all about to get a bunch of videos because I'm not preparing for the battle no more. So, all right, like, comment, subscribe, especially if you're new here, especially if you've been here. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, I appreciate y'all very much. You feel me? It's been a great year. And none of this is possible without y'all, man. It's been an amazing year. All right. I'm gonna catch y'all.